without someone to hold on. Too little, too late. Endless like this more. Too little, too late. Without someone to hold on. Too little, too late. Endless like this more. You said that you could flip the switch, put a red front cross between my fingers. Don't tell me you won't let love breathe.
They caught me nested in your plant life. Doctors cut me out, see the spine erupting from the spring.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Without someone to hold on. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Endless like this more. Too little, too late.
Too late.
Without someone to hold on. Too little, too late. Endless like this more. You said that you could flip the switch, put a red front cross beneath my fingers. Don't tell me you won't let love breathe.
They caught me nested in your plant life. Doctors cut me out, see the spine erupting from the spring.
Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Without someone to hold on. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Endless like this more. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Without someone to hold on. Too little, too late.
Too little, too late.
Endless like this more. Yeah, yeah. Too little, too late. Too little, too late.
Too late.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Too late now.
Too little, too late. Too little, too late. Too little, too late. Too little, too late. Yeah.
Have you ever noticed the truth is in the freezer? Beneath the box of ice cream, a tiny civilization. If you looked, you would have seen it. A mass of gears and wires that jet up from the ceiling. Too heavy
name's Cassie. I'm a member of Veracity, and I'm here with a group of super cool artists to talk about storytelling through music. I'll let them introduce themselves, and along with a quick icebreaker, if your music was a fruit, what would it be and why?
My name is Tyler. I'm Lechron James. If my music was a fruit, it would probably be like a chocolate-covered blueberry. I feel like those are two good combinations. I don't know why, but that's what I feel like.
I think that's bending the rules a little bit, but
whatever.
It's okay. My name is Seth. I play with Lechron James. Yeah, I think chocolate-covered blueberry is good.
Right?
I was thinking pineapple, but just because.
My second favorite fruit.
Mm-hmm. Just tropical. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Hey, I am Eden Page. I have a different name on here because this is my business name. But yeah, if my music were a fruit, I think I'd say it was like a blood orange or something like that.
Hi, I am Tinsley, and if my music were a fruit, I would say a grapefruit because I love the color pink and it's a little sweet, but also a little sour.
Cool. Well, thank you all for being here. I'm gonna hop into the first question. What is your writing style, and are you trying to tell a story or like evoke a feeling, or like, you know, with like where do you lean more, or both, or whatever? And anybody can start.
When we write, I think we just play together and we honestly find something that sounds cool and creates a feeling and kind of build on top of that, and then pass it over to the words guy.
I kind of like it. Just we kind of create the music first, and then we just listen to it and just try to feel what it kind of sounds like the music is trying to say by itself, and then we try to write words that kind of match that vibe, if anything, and just kind of fulfill maybe what the music is evoking. So it can be a feeling, but sometimes there is like a story that comes to mind when I feel what I'm hearing, if that makes any sense. But yeah, it's very organic. That's the process for sure.
Maybe we can just go in the same rotation.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I read this question and I was thinking about it because I feel like in my head it's one thing, and then when I'm processing it out loud, it becomes something else. But I think that storytelling is like really important to my music, and in my mind, there are often environments and places that each song takes place in, or a variety. But when I really started to think about it, I realized that I mostly write conceptually, and that there's sort of a personal concept that I'm exploring about myself, or an experience that I'm having, or something that tends to be like related to multiple things. So I kind of like to experiment with like one verse being about me and then another verse being about another person that is also related to the same concept. And then there are like little stories within, but they aren't really like linear in the sense of beginning, middle, and end. Yeah, but I'm a filmmaker for my like profession, and so I think that has like really influenced me being a more storytelling, telling in a more narrative style, although it's a little bit crazier and more scatterbrained in the music realm, and that's kind of what's fun about it. It's definitely also more organic, and just I kind of let it be what it is.
Yeah, I feel like I actually have a pretty similar approach to you, Eden, but most of the songs that I'm writing, I'm coming from a place of wanting to explore my own feelings. So a lot of the time it'll be me feeling a certain type of way, and then as I'm writing my lyrics, the story kind of tells itself, but a lot of it is based in my own personal experience. So it's either stories from my own life that I am working through, or almost like aspirational stories of what I would like to have happen in the future.
It's awesome.
Second question, where do you draw inspiration from for subject for the subject matter of your songs?
Ooh, I think movies is a big part of that.
Yeah, we're Netflix junkies, so movies and TV definitely have the biggest influence. But history too. I mean, I'm kind of a nerd for that kind of stuff. So when I'm writing, I think about history and I think about science. Sci-fi stuff is really interesting to me. So yeah, it can come from anywhere. I just love stories. So obviously visually more than anything else. But yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's really awesome. I love thinking about the fact that films affect so many art forms, and vice versa. I think that, yeah, my, like, similarly to Tinsley, I think it's Tinsley, right?
Yes.
Term, right? Yeah, I think similarly, all my songs are like definitely really personal. And it kind of feels like they're diary entries. So, but I do a lot of like free writing, and like stream of consciousness writing. So I don't even know what I'm going to write about a lot of times. And I just like sit down and just kind of let the pen take over. And, it tends to be really personal. And sometimes I have to sort of piece it together afterwards and be like, oh, that's what I was thinking about, or that's what I'm going through right now. And, I think it's a cool way to like access the subconscious and see what's playing out under the surface. Yeah. And I definitely draw a lot of inspiration from, being outdoors. I love to write outdoors. So I have like a couple places that I go to. I live out in the woods. And so I write a lot in my garden, and, yeah, at just like strange, weird, abandoned places. I write a lot in cemeteries, and, yeah, I definitely feel inspired by the natural world and, magic and life and death.
Cool. I think we're on the same wavelength here, but very personal experiences. I would like to write more songs inspired by science fiction and movies, because that sounds really fun. So you guys are inspiring me. But it kind of depends. Everything is based in personal experience, but it wavers between whether or not I'm working with a producer or I'm writing songs just myself in my apartment and my guitar. So when I'm writing, like just free writing with my guitar in my apartment, those are definitely kind of stream of consciousness, personal, working out my own feelings. And then if I get a track from like one of the producers I work with, a lot of the times those are like evoking feelings that I haven't thought about. So I'll like be inspired by the music and then pull from personal experiences, but those kind of tend to set a certain theme or feeling versus coming at it from a place of like openness when I'm writing by myself.
Fourth question. Can you talk through the story of one of your songs? And I love your background, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You can see the rest of the walls in the house. They're all different colors. So this is the only thing that actually ties them together. I don't know who painted this.
I love it. The funniest story, we read this question earlier. The funniest story we thought of was we were just kind of jamming as a band, just making stuff. And then one of our friends who's a rapper, his name is Barrett Staples. You can look him up on Spotify. He'll be in our video. He came in and started just kind of rapping over us. And he had this one line in the chorus of the song. It's set fire to the lint in my pocket. And if you know this guy, he spills nonsense left and right. So like most of what he says has no meaning whatsoever, no definition. But we just loved that hook. It sounded so good with the chorus. It sounded so good. So we had to create a meaning for it and write a song. It was kind of fun. So we had to create a meaning for that line and then write a song around it. And write a whole. So we kind of saw it as getting rid of the old in your life, and like so setting fire to the lint, the crap that kind of builds up through day in, day out. Getting rid of it so that you have room for your phone and your wallet again, but just getting rid of the crap in your past is what the kind of meaning was. Where I took it with the rest of the lyrics in that song. So sometimes, nonsense can breed cool ideas. My father listened to it and he thought it was just about a girl texting me too much. So my phone's being lit up or something.
It's on fire.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
I like that meaning too. So I love music. Yeah.
It's cool when you can take things different ways, like when it's like interpretation.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this question's kind of hard. Like I was like, oh, it's going to be so easy to answer. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. When I try to put it into words, it's a little more complex or challenging to break it down. Yeah, so I love that story about the lint in the pocket. I feel like that happens, I imagine, to a lot of songwriters, where it's like you sort of just get like one piece sometimes where you're like, that's it. Like, how can we make sure that the rest of the song fits around this? Because it just kind of like hits in the right place. And actually, I wasn't going to talk about this song, but I guess I will, because it's related. So one of the songs that I'm playing in my video is called Broken Light Bulb. And it's very related in that way, in that it's kind of a funny backstory. I watched the like Lady Gaga A Star Is Born in the theaters, and it was all right. But my grandma wanted to go see it, and so I went and saw it with my grandma. And when we got out of the theater, I was like going towards my car, and I was just kind of standing in the parking lot for a second, just like taking a moment. And I was at the theater that I like grew up going to all the time and smoking a lot of cigarettes behind. And that film sort of has this theme about like drug addiction and about artists, and especially being in relationship with drug addicted artists. And I've had a lot of experience with that in the past. And there was like a flickering light bulb in the street lamp above me. And it was just sort of like annoyingly kind of coaxing at me as I was having this like inner dialogue about how I related to some of the content in the film, even though it wasn't my favorite film. But something still stuck with me, and I just sort of like got this idea in my head that I wanted to write a song about kind of that feeling of loving someone who is sort of a broken light bulb in that way. And that like, sometimes you're in the dark and you don't know what the hell is going on. And then like their light comes on and you're like, oh yeah, you're amazing. I love you. I'm going to stay in this with you. And then it goes off again. And then you're just waiting until it comes back on. And I think that pattern has like kind of circulated throughout my life and my friendships and relationships in a variety of ways. And so I went home and immediately just like wrote the song. It doesn't always work that way. Like sometimes songs take a long time to come together, but this one was just like, we're coming out now, writing about this. And yeah, so that's, I guess, a story that seems relevant.
That's a really cool concept, the light bulb. I love that. Let's see. It is a hard question. Let's see. I'll go with my very first like official single that I released. Because I feel like that was the most intentional song that I wrote, because I wanted it to like really speak for who I wanted to be as an artist when I first like set out to be Tinsley. So it was called In Bloom, and I wrote it about my first relationship, my first love. It was like in high school through college, and it was a very defining part of my life. But I realized once that relationship ended how much of myself I'd been investing in another person. And I feel like I really lost myself for a while, and I didn't give myself the space to pursue music as much as I wanted to. And I almost felt like I couldn't, because I was just like putting this person on a pedestal and kind of making my identity about them. So once that ended, it was really kind of like the catalyst that made me want to pursue music more seriously, because it was something I always loved. And it's about taking like hardships in your life and kind of using them as growth, or like, it's cheesy, but like fertilizer for you to like bloom into the person that you are. And a lot of it is also inspired by feeling like I feel like as a female in society, I feel like there's a lot of pressure to be like smaller and not take up a lot of space. So the chorus is just repeating in bloom, and it's about like opening up as a person, like blooming into my own skin and kind of finding joy and my own independence and individuality as a person. And it was originally going to be called Lady Liberty, the first couple lines are like, you were my light, but now I'm mine. So in my head, it's like the vision of her like holding the flame and kind of like standing as your own person. But it was a very empowering song to write. So that's one of my stories.
Dang, that was a good question. Anyways, yeah, you guys have good stories. Okay. Fourth question. Are there any other artists whose storytelling inspires you?
Oh man, OG Taylor Swift, man. I kind of gave up right around the Shake It Off era, but she has such a way, beginning, middle, and end. You can't skip one part of it. You got to hear the whole thing.
Well, I think that's like, you've shown me a lot of country music. Yeah. Like there's actually a story going on, and there's like a resolution at the end.
There is.
And most country music you've shown me is like that. So I think that's definitely.
I show him the good ones.
Yeah. I can't get into the country pop. I think one of the bands that definitely inspires me is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yes.
Australia. I think a lot of their songs, he's a huge book nerd, so he loves sci-fi too. So a lot of his songs follow a story, and there's a resolution at the end. Like I can think of like the whole Microtonal Banana album. There's a bunch of stories in that album, and like they have a lot of concept albums. So yeah, I think he's like next level. I would love to be able to write like that. Yeah, I think that's the most we got. Think of anything else?
No.
Juliet?
That's a very diverse picking between you guys.
You have to listen to everything.
Yeah.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, my like patron saint of music and everything since I was like 11 years old has been Elliott Smith. And I just like, yeah, I don't know. I think some artists, and I don't know if everyone has this experience, but I think some artists just sort of, for whatever reason, like click into a person. And like, especially if they're discovered early on, it's like you can listen to their same albums and their same songs throughout the years, and they just like still have more meaning and still are just as relevant, if not more. And yeah, just since I mean, even at like 11, I was like, this dude gets me. And yeah, so it's been a really cool process of like listening to the same stories through the same songs, because he died right around that time. And then basically just like getting older with them and like retelling them to myself every time I listen to them. And I actually studied his songwriting all through high school. I would like write his lyrics down and like study his rhyme schemes and be like, all right, so he's rhyming like an A, B, B, C, D or whatever, and be like, how do I write a song kind of like that? And yeah, so he's been majorly influential. Also an early band that I feel like told really cool, elaborate stories that influenced me a lot was the Mars Volta. And like they have just some insane concept albums, and I mean like they have like books that go along with some of the albums and things like that. And I was like, whoa, you can create an entire world with music. And that definitely was majorly influential. Also Pink Floyd, obviously just insanely, multifaceted. And then I think my other main one is, and I'm not actually mentioning any women, but I mostly listen to like femmes and women musicians now. So I probably should, but I do want to say briefly that Ali Farka Tour, oddly enough, has been like a major like writing inspiration to me, even though I do not speak his language and I don't know what he is saying a lot of times. And a lot of times they're like just very long instrumental pieces, but something about that style of music just really like elevates a part of my thinking and makes me tell my own stories in my head and have like associations. And I've written a lot of scripts to his music and that kind of thing. So yeah. But then as far as like female musicians that I super relate to, Fiona Apple is definitely up there. Tori Amos, a lot of my friends, like a lot of my contemporaries, I just have a lot of love for. And Johanna Warren, Rowan Katz, Irene Bowen. There's a ton, but there's a lot of influence, obviously, that I have to talk about.
I feel like we need to start a collaborative playlist or something, so I can listen to all of these artists. I'm inspired. You definitely stole my thunder with the Taylor Swift thing, because she is my number one inspiration by far. She's actually the reason I taught myself guitar. Like, the only reason I picked up guitar was so I could play her songs and post covers on YouTube. That's how I got started in high school. But other artists that I am inspired by, Feist is a big one. I also love Snail Mail, Maggie Rogers, a lot of I'm inspired by a lot of women. And then another huge genre of influence for me is 80s new wave. That's what I grew up listening to, that my parents always played. So I have a very soft spot for The Cure, Depeche Mode, all of those bands that I can listen to and feel like instantly inspired by.
Cool. Last question. What does your writing process look like? We kind of went over that, but I don't know.
Just a little bit. We kind of all get in the same room and find a group of sounds, I think, that we like. Sometimes it's guitars, sometimes it's like synth heavy, and just play till we find something we like, and then kind of go, I liked how that sounded, add this to it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think the eclectic kind of genres that we all like, the variety of genres we like to listen to, makes that happen. It just kind of forces its hand. Sometimes we want to be rough and metal. Sometimes we want to, be melodic and, do harmonies even. So, it's very organic. It's very off the cuff, and it's almost as if we like to perform rather than record.
Yeah, I feel like everything good we've ever come up with happened in as long as the song is, that's how long it took to happen. And then after that, you're like, oh, I guess that's done.
Well, I guess the storytelling part of it comes in like the back end, where we kind of try to interpret where our music was going and what it was trying to say. And maybe that's not the best way to do it, but it's how we do it. And it's a way. So
it's a way.
That's it. Juliet?
Yeah. I don't think that that's a bad way at all. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think every way, whatever gets it out, right? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it varies, but I think a lot of times I just write a lot. So I write in a lot. I have fucking 10 journals. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can say book, but I have a lot of journals. I tend to carry 5 at a time, and they all I'm Virgo, and I just I feel like they all have different purposes. I'm this one's for dreams exclusively, this one's for notes, this one's for personal thoughts, this one's for music, this one's for film, whatever. And so the music side of that is I just really tend to put a lot of poetry down, and a lot of it is not great, or it's just random and doesn't necessarily make sense, but I think it's kind of this collaborative process with myself, my past self and present self, because I'll kind of sit down, and I feel for me, singing and emoting that way and lyricism is definitely where I'm more comfortable. So by the time I'm in the mood to actually put some accompaniment to it, I'm okay, I've feeling it. I got my guitar. I'm going to look through my journal and see what feels in line with this. And I play in a lot of alternate tunings. So a lot of times I'm not I'm going to play in F sharp, whatever the fuck today. Sorry. But yeah, I'm also half the time don't know what tuning I'm playing. And I'm just this doesn't sound quite right. Let's keep tuning until it feels like it's in the mood that I'm trying to evoke right now. And then it's sort of like matching and being like, oh yeah, like, and I'll try it. I'll be like, all right, do these words work? No, that feels weird. Try the next one. Oh, this one's working, but then I don't really like the middle part. What if I took a piece from this other poem and put it here? And it's like this weird, like collage style of writing. And it's not always that way. Sometimes I'm more intentional about it and there's something specific, but it's kind of fun because it tends to like reveal itself as something that I wasn't anticipating. And sometimes I'm like, whoa, this sounds way better with these pieces going together and it all makes sense together. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting because like similar, or like I guess not similarly to Lechron James, to you guys, I love to record, and performing, I'm like 30% of the time I like performing, and then like 70% of the time I'm like, oh, I'd rather be in the studio. Because I love producing the songs. I love like getting in and being like sometimes it's like 4:00 in the morning and I'm in bed and I'm like hearing my song. I'm like, cool. So I want like 4 different string parts and I want this to be like, you know, and I don't always have access to that. But by the time I do get in the studio, and I live in a recording studio, so by the time I make time for it and actually do it, I feel like that's where a lot of magic happens for me. And yeah, it's just fun to explore and layer, and it's very collage-esque, I guess, for me. Yeah.
That's awesome. You live in a recording studio? That's so cool.
A little bit of a challenge right now with COVID because we're like trying to figure out how to manage the having clients in our home.
Got it. So. Okay, let's see. I feel like it definitely varies for me as well. And it's either I will be in my apartment, like in the zone, and I'll bring out my guitar and my notebook, and then I use the voice notes app religiously. So I will just like press record, and it's kind of like stream of consciousness. I'll just play. I'm not the most talented guitar player, so I play very basic chords, but I just try and get the melody out. And a lot of the times I'm surprised because sometimes full songs will just like come out of me and they feel very like natural. I find that if I have to keep like working at a song, like I'm just not as inspired by it. So I get very excited when that happens because it just comes like, I'm like, wow, okay, I wrote a song today. But then other times if I'm working with a producer and we pre-COVID were in the studio together, right now doing most remote things. So I'll get a track sent over, or I'll send a voice note to them and then they'll send me something back. And once there is like an instrumental track in place, I kind of just play that on a loop and record myself trying out different lyrics and different melody styles until I find something that I feel excited about and proud of. But it is kind of hard to explain. Like, I feel like there's a magic to it that I don't even understand. Like, things just happen. And I wish I could say I knew how, but a lot of the times I just don't. It just comes out.
Cool not knowing, you know. I don't know. Yeah, so that's all the questions. That was really cool seeing you guys. Yeah, thank you so much to everybody on the panel for your time and like your insights and stuff. And to everyone watching, you should hit up these guys' socials and Venmos. Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Hello.
Hey there.
We're the Morning Moon. I'm Claire.
I'm Max.
I'm Lily. And we are right now in Poughkeepsie, New York at Vassar College, where we're all seniors. But I'm from Seattle, Washington.
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts.
I'm from Orange, Virginia.
So since this live stream is about storytelling, we wanted to talk a little bit about our songwriting process and sort of the backstory to the songs that we're going to play. So we all kind of write our own songs. We all have very different songwriting styles, and then we'll just sort of noodle around with them and add different instrumentations.
Yes, there's like this cool collaborative process where all of our songs like have an individual voice that wrote them, but then the way that they turn out when we play them all together is very much like a collaborative work. We don't like come in with an arrangement and plop it down in front of our bandmates and be like, this is what you play now. So there's a lot of improvisation. There's a lot of like just looping sections over and over again until we find something that we like. It all sort of just like comes together.
Yeah, and it is funny how different our songwriting skills are. Like, I feel like I have more pop, like very personal, confessional songs, and then
I mostly just kind of write happy folk songs about trees and love. Yeah.
I write a lot of obtuse, confusing lyrics and weird chords, and it's not clear what my songs are about when you hear them. They tend to be very dark. But yes, somehow it all fits together.
We all put our touches on each other's songs and
Yeah.
they become cohesive. Yeah.
So we're each gonna play one song that we wrote in this concert, so we can tell you a little bit about them. My song is called Lonely Light, and so the story behind it is that it's kind of written from like my perspective, talking to a different version of myself from the past that was in like a much darker, unhappy, nervous, anxious place, and sort of exploring the weirdness of feeling like you're the same person as someone who experienced the world so differently, and like kind of looking back on yourself as a different person. So there's this, there's not like a clear narrative story through it, but that's sort of the feeling of the song in general and where all the lyrics are coming from.
And my song is called For You. It's about having a crush on somebody and like being too scared to tell them, but wanting to, and feeling that heart beating fast when you're around them. Never did tell them, so.
And my song's called A Little Longer. It's a song that I wrote when I was on a short little solo road trip out to the Oregon coast, and I was alone at the beach at sunset, and I was just, everything was feeling very heavy. It was sort of the beginning of the craziness of the pandemic, and I was just sitting in the sand writing lyrics in my notebook, and set it to music when I got back to my tent. So yeah, it's called A Little Longer. I think I said that already. And I mean, I think one of the beautiful things about folk music is that even if the songs don't follow a specific story or narrative, it's such a raw, vulnerable genre that the story of the songwriter comes through.
Yeah, like there's not a lot to hide behind. It's kind of putting yourself right out there. If there's like just a guitar and a mandolin and a harmonica behind you, that's not like, it feels like you're very, very much right there telling your story in some way.
Yeah, so we're super excited to be part of this live stream. We're on Bandcamp, on Spotify, on Facebook, on Instagram, on all the medias. So
The Morning Moon.
give us a listen.
Band, I think is our Instagram.
The morning, yes. Yeah, thank you so much.
Bye.
Girl, you got me so inspired, and I know what I like, and I think you just might be. Baby, I know what's required, and I know what I like, and I think you just might be the one. And I know what I like, and I think I just might see. And you feel what I know, and I feel what you can be. So tell the truth, I guess it's just no use. They won't know what's coming, but you and I are running away.
on my coat, they on sushi. Feeling like I need to find a groove. Feeling like I need to be in movies. Feeling like I need to get a move. But feeling like nobody seen to move me. I'm only running better in a war. I'm feeling like nobody really knew me. I'm banging out the rhythm on the door. Steady, I'll be giving them my eyes with a good word, tell me it'll ride. I'm feeling like you tell me all your lies, cause you think I really wouldn't, no surprise. Defending all the woes that are mine. I'm feeling like a whirlwind of mines. Put a little dough in the lie, let it go, he goes, better know it'll ride. I'm fine, but the minute my wrongs stay cold, I'll be living on time. I'll fight, but the minute I don't hold another minute more life. I'll fight, but the minute I don't, better know that they're taking my ride. I'll fight, but the minute I don't, better know that they're taking my life. Give me all the roll in the back, and by my limits I'll be living and die. Freedom, better read them the rights, and I'ma come along, give them my mind. Feel like I retreated inside, cause I don't know if I'm a regular guy. Feel like I'ma run out of time, but now I know that won't live on my mind. Tell you what is in mine. Make more yellow on the road. Tell me what is in line. If only I could lead you back home. If only I could win my own fight, we could be alive. But only I began my own lies, blame it on the cold. I'm fine, but the minute my wrongs stay cold, I'll be living on time. I'm fine, but the minute I don't hold another minute more life. I'm fine, but the minute I don't, better know that they're taking my ride. I'm fine, but the minute I don't, better know that they're taking my life. Steady, I've been rolling it back, by my limits I've been living to die. Feeling better, read on the rights, and I'ma come along, give them my mind. Feel like I'm retreating inside, cause I don't know if I'm a regular guy. Feel like I'm a run out of time, and I don't really know what's on my mind. Tell me what is in mine. Big boy, get on the road. Tell me what is in life. Feeling so evil alone. We can be seated, greed of alone. Not depending on the wrongs, ain't a seat at the throne. I've been taking everything and I've been leaving them none. Cause if you give them anything, they'll leave you alone.
Night in the morning, do your eyes get dark when the light turns golden? No, that's just a song they sing in the summertime. Now the old gray moon has let you go. She fell asleep in indigo. Then your picture on your phone doesn't look quite right. me up in your blast of bitterness. I'm long gone and I won't forgive you this time. Subsides, it's alright, I'm awake like never before. You left me that lonely light, lost my brightness with those summer eyes. And do you miss night in the morning? Do your eyes get dark when the light turns golden? No.
It's hard for me to say this without letting myself go. It's harder for me to feel it, but I wanted you to know. My heart is beating quickly. I'm surprised it doesn't show through my chest, but it beats for you. I know I've never told you, but I think I have to try. Whenever you are near me, it's like my heart doubles in size. And I know that sounds crazy. When I'm looking in your eyes, my heart just grows, and I can't slow down. And I can't help but wonder what it's like to feel your skin. But right now it feels so far away. And I can't help but hope that one day you will let me in. Oh, you'll let me in. And I can't help but wonder what it's like to feel your skin. But right now you feel so far away. And I can't help but hope that one day you will let me in. Oh, you'll let me in. Always land my feet the right way, but I react just
purple velvet veil to the unseen. Twilight hour fades fast when I'm out dancing in the past, trying to make a moment last between heavy stones and shadows cast. Never want the night to end. Last one at the party, the enduring friend. I fill spaces up like quicksand, slipping ever through my gripping hands. Scepters reflected spirits on the freeway in the night, in the spaces in between the darkness, splintered in the light, and I can see their faces in my dreams and firelight. A weathered, weary widow with the smolder in her eyes, and she never wants the night to end. Last one in the cemetery, digging up a friend. Emptiness fills spaces up like quicksand, slipping ever through her gripping hands, trying to hold on. But this movie's only so long, trying to hold on. It's already gone, it's already gone, it's already gone. I'm already gone, I'm already gone, I'm already gone. It's a long, lonesome drive and the highway of my mind that leads to a little home in the backwoods of my life. And I'm always searching for the souls of the lost keys, and though I stay quiet, I'm tormented by the aimless wandering. 'Cause so many broken light bulbs have left me in the dark when I'm walking in the graveyard. There comes back a spark, a memory in my mind that burns behind my tears. Year after year after year after year. lost in my own dream. And though I am conscious, I watch as my demons consume me. Just like the demon in you and the grieving in me, it was a recipe for perfect madness and a terrible greed that buried me in my own sadness. Upon my absence, you would feed on the ghost of me. It was a recipe for perfect madness. 'Cause you're a broken light bulb, you leave me in the dark when I'm walking out the door. There comes back your spark, a light in your eyes that hides behind your fears. Year after year after year after year, year after year after year after year. Fear after fear after fear after fear. Year after year after year after year.
Hi, I'm Tinsley, and I'm gonna be playing some songs for you. Say you wanna go. I know all the lines you think that I don't know. Say you wanna stay. I know all the games you think that you can play. Calculated moves. I'm skeptical of smooth. I prefer the quiet. And you talk too much. You talk too much. The narcissist. The narcissist. You look nice and sweet, so sweet, so sweet. Almost knocked me off my feet, but you just know what to say, so that you can get your way. You keep an even keel, perfecting your blue steel, and all of your affection belongs to your reflection. I've had enough, I've had enough. The narcissist. The narcissist. Oh hi, can I help you, mate? You said hey 3 times, but it still ain't changed. You wanna talk a little more? I'ma be right back. Just stay right there, go sit, relax. Okay, I'm free, I'm out, he's cute. I know what you're talking about, but too slick just ain't for me. Keep it 100 if you play for keeps. I know you think you're cute and smart. The way you talk make me go. All the petty lies you say don't make me wanna be with you. I can see right through you, but I know you think you trippin'. Don't be salty, say you're sorry. Now you know that I'm the boss. narcissus. The narcissus. This next track is called Lovesick. Watch the summer fall, I just wanna have you all to myself. I know you're bad for my health. I can't help that I'm tethered, 'cause my heart's under the weather. You got me feeling lovesick, lovesick, yeah. Got me feeling lovesick, lovesick, yeah. Falling for you so quick, yeah. Falling for you so quick. Won't you help me feel better? Help me feel better. Won't you help me feel better? Better, better. Watch the summer fall, I just wanna have you all to myself. I know you're bad for my health. I can't help that I'm tethered, 'cause my heart's under the weather. You got me feeling lovesick, lovesick, yeah. Got me feeling lovesick, lovesick, yeah. Falling for you so quick, yeah. Falling for you so quick. Won't you help me feel better? Help me feel better. Won't you help me feel better? Lovesick, baby, lovesick. Better, better, better. Lovesick, baby, lovesick. Watch the summer fall, I just wanna have you all to myself, to myself, to myself, to myself. Sick, 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 love sick, 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 love sick, 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 love sick, love sick, 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 love sick, 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 love sick, 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 love sick, da 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 da.
Into the rain, stay quiet, quiet.
Shake away or hide your face.
The mind is what you saw too much. The outside call. The outside call.